It's Recycling Day today. The initiative aims to create awareness around the social, environmental and economic benefits of recycling. Historian and sculptor Professor Pitika Ntuli is running a project to create art through recycled materials. Prof, always good to have you with us. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We make a whole lot of associations with recycling and how it can contribute to the economy, but we don't often think of its use in art.
Yeah, and it's also absolutely very surprising, because we people actually in Africa almost literally recycle everything. When you slaughter a cow, the skin is going to become a skirt. It is going to become a carpet. It is going to make the drum. The blood is being drunk. The horns are going to be taken and put on in a homestead to say to the people who are abiding by what our ancestors wanted us to do. And also coming from a family of 9, and we're a family of 9 and we're poor. We had to take old clothes and recycle those clothes, and my mother was very brilliant in making them looking new. So creativity, beauty and ugliness coexist. They are dialectical.
I love that, the idea of that, and the value of things that are old, that have preserved history within them. How did the idea around the man in the green blanket emerge?
Yeah, I was watching the unfolding in Marikana, and also very much admired Mambush, the man in the green blanket. He was very kind of a charismatic guy. I saw him on television, and a few hours later, the guy was actually shot, dead. Then decided that I'm going to get hose, I'm going to get a wheelbarrow frame, I'm going to get corrugated, iron, and a gearbox, of a car, and construct, that Mambush, in order to immortalize, that moment of that lost life.
Just tell me, we're looking at visuals now of your Shaka artwork. How do you work with such different personalities? You've brought them all into one exhibition, but you've got individuals as different as Tuli Madonsela and Shaka in the same series of sculptures.
Yeah, but what's also very interesting with that Shaka, from Shaka to King Zwelithini is 200 years today, because Shaka ascended power in 1816. And this month is Heritage Month. But you actually see that the absence of monuments and sculptures and real statues of our own heroes is actually missing. And yet those become the key to social cohesion. They become a key to our history. They become a historical lesson when they appear anywhere, that anybody who passes knows that this was Shaka, this was Gandhi, this was so-and-so, and then raise those kind of questions. So I've just decided that I'm going to use all these found objects. I'm using the granite, which is very, very hard. I'm using horns for Shaka. I'm using hose, because Shaka is called ilembe, a hoe that is sharper than other hoes. So every symbolism is actually placed there.
It's so interesting for me the way you have combined. Tell me what we're seeing right now. That was the Tuli Madonsela.
No, that was June 16 with being caught. That's Marikana. You're seeing there.
I'm really interested in the way you have combined organic elements with the kind of cold clinical metal elements in your art.
Yeah, because what happens up in African philosophy and African worldview, ugliness cannot exist outside the beauty. Beauty outside the heart, the organic and the inorganic. In other words, everything that we are is interrelated, is interdependent, and it is interconnected. So my work, which is of course a very decolonial art, is a manifestation of that unity of purpose, of community, of a sense of being that is beyond me.
What interests me, Prof, is I'm thinking about the kind of monuments we unveil from time to time. Millions of rand are sometimes spent on monuments. They're on a massive scale, and they're always shiny and new. Do we need to rethink how and what we use to depict what we choose to record as part of our history?
Yeah, no, we should actually choose. Not only that, Joanne, we also have got to choose what material you use, for what. For instance, there are 4 pictures that were done of Lillian Goy and De Bruyn that were done in bronze. The people led the 1956, right? They are done in bronze. Those should have been done in stone, because the women say you have hit a woman, you have hit a rock, but we represent them in a kind of a foreign material that's got nothing to do with the land on which they had marched, they had fought, and so many sacrifices had been made.
Certainly lots of things to think about there. Thank you for sharing those profound thoughts with us, and also opening our eyes as to those beautiful sculptures that you've been working on. Historian and sculptor, Professor Pitika Ntuli.